Hey, welcome to the show. It's Once Phantom in Japan.
Welcome to the show, Getting with the Green in Japan. Man, what a show we have, because in Japan there was quite a show.
Yeah, man.
The Canadian invasion, you might say. All these titles changing hands. Dominion was quite entertaining.
It was pretty exciting, right? It was a great show. We have a great show for you here. We're going to break down Dominion and maybe preview a little bit of what's coming up in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's episode 3 of What's Phantom in Japan.
I off the top, I want to apologize.
Yeah.
The last show we did, my energy level was in the dirt. I was hungover, wasn't really digging it. Today, I'm feeling amazing. I have tons of energy. I fresh off watching Dominion. I feel good. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I can tell you're super excited, man. Like you're hyped for this show.
Why? I just I've been busy too. I just got off opening up for Ken Shamrock, so that was pretty cool. And my doctor cleared me, so Green Phantom is officially back in the ring in July. And I've been watching some really good wrestling, such as Dominion, which is awesome to see Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, 2 Winnipeg natives, become the champions, the most significant champions anyway, in Japan, which is quite amazing. And then, as we were talking off air, all the title changing hands. You know, Young Bucks won their belts. Will Ospreay lost his belt.
Yeah.
You know.
Michael Elgin won the never openweight belt. A lot of belts changed hands at Dominion.
What belt didn't change hands?
I don't think anybody retained. I don't know. I'm looking at the results now. The junior tag champions Desperado and Kanemaru retained, and Desperado and Kanemaru, them and Hiromu, who beat Will Ospreay, are the only 2 Japanese champions currently for New Japan, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's all Canadians and Americans. Michael Elgin won the Unbreakable one there, and obviously the Young Bucks have their belts, and they got some more belts.
Yeah,
and the triple man tag team
never open weight 6-man titles. That's the Bucks and Marty Scurll, and now the Bucks beating Evil and Sonata. They're the new IWGP Tag Team Champions. So they've got a lot of belts right now. The Young Bucks.
Some dynasties being built here.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to watch, and it's like you watch this show. It was a 4-hour show, but it was good top to bottom. Like, there wasn't a moment when I was watching Dominion where I was like, man, this is kind of boring. Oh, it's the Miz match. Let me move and do something else and
every match worked for me. Yeah, every match worked for me.
Yeah, everything was good.
Yeah, I was, and everything too. Most matches had something that I've never seen before either. Something unique, you know, which is interesting from the get-go, you know.
Let's talk about the main event. Let's talk about Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. 2 out of 3 falls. They went an hour, 4 minutes, and 50 seconds.
I actually thought it was longer than that. But
with entrances and stuff.
With entrances and stuff is an hour and a half, and that's serious. And really, as a wrestler, you're on from that moment. So
as soon as you walk out of the curtain, you're on, right?
There might be some official bell time, but from the get-go, you're on, you know. So
now,
he was a good hour and a half, hour 40 minutes, you know.
Now, as a wrestler, that match was incredible. How impressive is it for you to see 2 guys, able to go for that long at that type of pace?
It was absolutely incredible. You know, like I've seen Iron Man matches. You know, I remember watching Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, and even I watched the Rockers against the Rougeaus. You know, these.
Don't forget The Rock and Triple H.
Yeah, in these 60-minute matches, but they didn't have the pace that these guys had. You know, the type of bumps they're doing, the tables, but more the bumps, man. At one point, there's some like Omega's finisher. What's it called?
The one-winged angel.
Yeah, that's
the one on the top.
He did it a whole bunch of times. And he did it really fast too. At the end, it was
where he didn't even hook his head. He just kind of brought him up in the electric chair position and dropped him down.
Yeah. It was really intense.
How do you think Okada's feeling after that match?
Definitely felt that the next day his body's hurting. You know, I'm pretty sure that they all had a few days off after that. It was brutal.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't think Omega's worked since then.
And no,
neither has Okada. And I think they deserve some time off after that. And I think you got to take the time off after that for your body, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you even wrestle again? I mean, I guess maybe you could slide your way in a 6-man match or whatever and not do too much, but it's tough to wrestle that type of pace, that type of match, and then have to keep doing it. Right?
Yeah, you thank God they're young enough and still in great shape. They're in really, really good shape. Like Kenny Omega, probably looks his best shape of his life. I don't know.
Yeah, he looked incredible. Like the shape he got in for that match, amazing.
He looked better every time, and I found they worked so well together. I found Okada was a very gracious seller, and it worked really well as a match. Speaking of gracious seller, the Jericho match,
yeah.
Naito sold the shit out of that. At the beginning, he just Jericho wiped the floor with him for most of that match,
and it looked like Jericho was just destroying him at the beginning. And when Jericho attacked him, Naito looked like he was getting just demolished. He looked unconscious.
Yeah, and then at some point, I only watched the match once, so I couldn't pinpoint exactly where it happened, but there were a lot of stiff shots from Jericho, and I busted him hard way twice in two different occasions.
Yeah.
He fucked him up, like literally, legit fucked him up.
Naito saw what happens.
And
that's Jericho's new catchphrase, by the way. Did you notice that? He's like, "You see what happens, Naito? You see what happens?" He was saying it during the promo. He was saying it during the match. He was telling Naito, "You see what happens?" And then after, when Jericho was still beating up Naito after the match, when Evil came out, Evil made the save for Naito. Jericho leaves the ring. He's like, "I don't know who you are, but you're going to see what happens."
Yeah,
it's a new catchphrase. I'm telling you. Pick up on it.
Pretty much everything he says is golden. Since the last time we talked, I was really into Chris Swearico.
Yeah.
You piece of shit. You fuck. You fuck face.
Fuck face. That's a good one that Jericho throws out there.
And then he was like stiff with his language, but he was stiff in the ring too. Like that looked like a really brutal ass match. And Jericho with his new look, and I don't know. I guess I sort of like it. No,
I like it with the face paint,
and
the hat and the new jacket. It looks
it's
cool.
Okay. I mean, it's a bit too, I don't know how to say it. Maybe a bit too arty for me. Because he's the rock and roller for me still,
Yeah, but this is this is something that he's doing with his career.
Yeah.
Can you compare?
He does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, like
and New Japan trusts him. Like, okay, here you go. I mean, all the WWE did as well. All the list thing and all that. Like, they supported his vision.
But they didn't give him the big matches in WWE
No.
like they are in New Japan.
No.
Like, they're really treating him well in New Japan. They're treating Chris Jericho the way I think he should always be treated, like a top-level main eventer.
He used to be that, right? I mean, he was the undisputed guy for a while.
Yeah, but even when he wasn't really the guy. Yeah. He was never the guy. It was always Triple H or Austin or whoever.
Yeah.
You're
right.
And in New Japan, he is like the legendary Chris Jericho. When he comes out, it's a big deal.
Yeah. But he always kind of was that, whether certain people recognize it or not. Even in WCW, and when he was the Ayatollah, and then when he left, he appeared on Raw as a superstar, taking on The Rock.
As soon as his debut in WWE, he was a main event.
I'm a superstar right away.
Yeah.
So,
and you can't really compare Jericho's career to anybody's. It's a crazy career that he's had in pro wrestling. I mean, a lot of guys were, good in WCW, then they went to WWE and they had a pretty good run. Rey Mysterio is kind of the same deal. But nobody has then gone to New Japan, done their own thing. At this stage in the game, at this age, nobody has ever done anything close to this. It's remarkable, and it really shows you like how good and how important Jericho is for like the history of professional wrestling. What he's doing right now is unprecedented.
No, he's I'm really proud that he's Canadian, and I'm intrigued that him and Omega are from Winnipeg. It's pretty interesting.
It's bizarre. We were talking about it before the show. It's like who's from Winnipeg in pro wrestling? Well, there's Jericho, there's Kenny Omega, and there's Don Callis, right? Cyrus.
Oh, he's from Winnipeg too?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the connection.
Yeah.
He actually introduced Jericho and Omega.
Okay. Did you see at the end of the Young Bucks match when they won their titles? They went up to the announce booth, and live on air they invited Cyrus to be at their all in show.
Yeah, yeah.
So we need someone in the booth or whatever they say.
Do you think that was a shoot? Like, was that for real?
They
didn't tell him beforehand. They didn't ask him.
I'm pretty sure they told him. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they told him.
Because
it's free advertising.
Who says Don Callis is even available that night? You know, he's got a job with Impact Wrestling, or it's Impact Wrestling, right? Him and Scott D'Amore run Impact Wrestling.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
It's true. Well, I don't really care about that. the only thing I like,
they're trying, man.
They are on Impact. I really like Eddie Kingston with the LAX. He's great. You know, he has a cigar thing.
I like that guy Brian Cage because he's so freakishly big.
Yeah, I haven't watched him on there. I've only seen him on Lucha Underground.
Oh my goodness!
He's
crazy jacked. That guy.
I want to see some more of that. Netflix had 2 seasons, and I'm waiting for the 3rd season to come on.
I haven't got into that.
No, it was pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah. High impact wrestling. You see guys like Ricochet, you know,
who's now in NXT.
Yeah.
Did you see his flip onto the ground?
Speaking of flips, you see Will Ospreay. Let's get back to
Let's stick to New Japan.
Yeah, Will Ospreay. He did that running. He did that run down the entranceway and flip. Another somersault.
Those two guys are incredible.
Like,
Will Ospreay is amazing, and Hiromu, he won the Best of the Super Juniors. He had a crazy run, and winning the title here, he's like the hope for Japan. He's like the next guy.
Ospreay dropped him on his head a couple times.
Yeah.
Did you see him? At one point there was a reversal. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I wish I had the clip on me, but he landed right on his fucking head.
I feel like Hiromu in like 4 or 5 years is going to be main eventing these shows. He's going to be one of the top guys in New Japan. He's going to put a little size on. It's going to be like Naito or even Kenny Omega, who used to be in the junior division. I think Hiromu is that guy to kind of move forward and be a big star for New Japan. He's got a good personality, a lot of charisma, and his wrestling is really top notch.
Yeah, well, that match was top notch. A lot of good reversals. I was actually surprised Ospreay lost, but he dropped that dude on his head a whole bunch.
Were you surprised Okada lost? I was.
Yeah, I guess I was. Yeah. Well, no, actually, you know what? Because
did you think Kenny Omega was going to go in? Like, going into it, you thought he was going to win? I did not. I thought they would have a great match, and the match was even better than I thought it was. Like, the match exceeded all expectations, but I thought Okada was going to pull it off. Rainmaker.
It had to give life back into that Bullet Club angle. Even it kind of needs that, you know.
Yeah, but now New Japan kind of becomes all about that. Like with Cody and Kenny. Cody is the next top challenge for Omega. I assume Okada's going to come back at him at some point, right? But a lot of New Japan now is centering around non-Japanese guys.
Yeah, 2 guys from Winnipeg.
They have a new president. He's
all
not
Club.
A Japanese native.
He's not, eh?
No, this guy Harold May, they introduced him at the top of the show. He's from the Netherlands, but he came to Japan at like 11 years old, so he speaks perfectly. He's done very well in business, and now he's the new president of New Japan, and he says he wants to take New Japan to the next level.
And like, is the new level all white guys? You know,
well, I don't know, but it does make it more accessible for North Americans, right? Like,
well, no doubt.
A lot of people started watching New Japan because of Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people watched Wrestle Kingdom in January and have stuck to it. I've stuck to it. Like, that's kind of how I got on board. I was like, well, Jericho's going to wrestle Kenny Omega. I hear so much about New Japan being great. I need to follow this product full time. And now I do. And it's so much better than any other wrestling product out there.
Well,
so,
if you like the high impact moves, different psychology of wrestling, more like fighting, you know, it's for you. It's action-packed.
If you watch pro wrestling, why wouldn't it be for you?
Well,
you know,
because
like if you watch pro wrestling, how could you prefer the WWE? What is preferable there? The guys, like how they look. I mean, is that it?
Definitely, how they look is one thing. The intensity of the match, but really, a lot of the reasons why the U.S. version of wrestling, if you will, like specifically WWE version of wrestling.
It's more WWE because the U.S. version of wrestling doesn't really mean
Ring of Honor or whatever, or CZW or whatever.
Yeah, there's. I mean, you've wrestled in some of these places. It's not WWE style, right?
The WWE style is really good for the wrestlers, in the sense that they could do that shit forever, you know.
But then they do.
The other style, which is tons of finishers, which WWE is getting to now. They are doing matches where there would be multiple finishers. Like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you did your finisher once and it was over.
Yeah.
Now you can do it 3-4 times and you can get away with it. So that's like kind of coming more in the last few years, a decade or so. But in Japan, you do that all the time, and there's also the style of the finisher. In Japan, the style of the finisher is, a lot of it's drop you on your head stuff.
Yeah.
Where a
lot of moves.
In WWE, you won't get that. You'll get the soft stuff.
So many moves in that Omega Okada match could not be done in the WWE. I mean, how many times did Omega hit a spike pile driver? Yeah. Like he wrapped Okada's arms up and then boom, right on his head.
Yeah.
So many times he's dropping you on your head. The one winged angel.
Pretty much every match had at least one type of pile driver.
Yeah.
Whether it be a spike, a tombstone, normal. Just everyone had something like that. You know, which none of that is allowed in WWE.
You can't pile drive anybody ever.
You wouldn't be able to do Omega's finisher in WWE.
No,
that's a strictly.
But here's my question: if they can hit like a million pile drivers in a match in New Japan, how come we can't see one every once in a while in WWE? Like, what's the big deal here?
I don't know, man.
Because Owen Hart broke Stone Cold's neck way back?
Exactly.
Is that why?
Exactly. It was insurance. They want to make insurance people happy. And, I mean, Kevin Owens would love to do his pile driver, that's for sure.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Just once.
And it's super safe.
Not every time. You don't have to hit it every match. But if you hit it once, it would be incredible. Yeah. It would be amazing. People would lose their minds.
I feel it's going to happen at a WrestleMania sometime, somewhere. Who knows?
Last time a pile driver was hitting a WWE, I think was CM Punk and John Cena on Raw. Punk pile drove Cena. One time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Punk and Cena realized, this match needs a little extra something. Pile driver.
Yeah. That's a great move. I love pile drivers. I used to, I had a version of my own called the gangrene driver. It's kind of like a shoulder hook pile driver. It looks pretty devastating, but it was safe as all hell. And I used to pile drive people off the apron through tables quite frequently. Always one of my favorite moves. Watching Rhino do it in ECW was just fantastic.
Amazing.
It was fantastic. I love pile drivers through tables off aprons. I gave Sami Zayn one of those a couple times. Yeah, good stuff.
Jericho and Naito had some nice use of the table in their match.
Yeah.
Jericho put Naito through a table.
Little power bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those little Japanese tables
they're awesome.
Look so fun to break. The little toys.
They look thicker than the American tables. Like they can withstand more, but they're thin. Like they're narrow.
They're like more compact, so their center is strong. Yeah, Omega's been doing this thing for a while now, where he puts the table on people and then jumps off the apron onto the table
with the stomp.
Yeah.
So Omega and Okada did some stuff in that match. I'm still blown away by how good that match was. Like, was that the best Iron Man match you've ever seen?
I would say, yeah.
That's better than Brett and Shawn.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, think about what we're saying here.
Yeah.
We're saying we just saw a match that was better than Brett and Shawn's match.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the evolution. I mean, these guys walked on the shoulders of giants. They've seen Brett and Shawn, Mike. They've seen it,
Exactly. They've seen it, and they're like, "What can we
do?" Yeah,
exactly.
And that's where
and they did it.
And they did. It's good on them. It's and what I love about Omega too. After that hour or something long, then he cuts a promo in Japanese and English. It's fantastic.
And he's going to take on Xavier Woods at Street Fighter. It's going to be the Golden Elite versus the New Day, but just playing video games.
That's a whole new thing too. The Golden Elite. That's awesome.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad for Ibushi though.
More like T-shirts sold. Why?
Yeah. Well, he's the only guy without a belt.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Kenny's the heavyweight champ. The Bucks are the tag team champs. Ibushi's just there.
He's just a good-looking one.
Yeah, he's just the Japanese dude who's there with them. He's kind of,
At least there's a Japanese guy in the leading clique.
Yeah, that's it. They are.
Because right now they're underrepresented, that's for sure.
Who do you want to see Kenny face first in, like, his big title match for New Japan? Who do you want it to be? Okada again? Tanahashi? Cody? Like, who do you want to see?
It's got to be Cody. I mean,
yeah.
It's got to be Cody.
But is that the match you want to see the most?
Like,
they had a really good match.
I'd like to see him. I mean, but he's fought most of the guys anyways at some point or another.
Yeah.
I'd like to see another go with Naito.
Yeah.
That'd be all right.
He seemingly took a shot at Naito in his little promo.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, I'm not tranquilo," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Maybe you're kind of foreshadowing for what's coming next.
Yeah, that'll happen for sure.
Naito does make sense because he just lost his title to Jericho, so
he's looking for a title.
Because I don't think Jericho's going to wrestle Naito again.
Yeah, me either.
I don't think they do it again. Because I'm good. Jericho, he's in New Japan right now. I'm good to see him wrestle every guy once. But not like he doesn't need to wrestle Naito 3-4 times. We don't need to see that. We saw it once. It was great. Let's see what he can do with this guy or that guy. I think Suzuki should be next for Jericho. That's the match I really want to see. I know it seems like Evil maybe showed up and he might be the next Jericho challenge, but I'm not that excited about seeing Evil or Sonata in there. I want to see Suzuki.
No. Suzuki, I think it would make more sense to go against Omega because Jericho's too, like, he's dark right now and Suzuki's kind of dark. So you need two dark guys against each other. I don't know how well that works. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, but it'd be better a brighter guy. But even that, it won't even happen. I don't think Suzuki's. I don't know.
I'd like to see it just because I think the match would be crazy.
Yeah, maybe it's Hangman Page
against who?
Suzuki.
Ooh,
that'd be some tough bastards.
That would be intense.
Hangman Page, for a guy his size, that guy moves like crazy. He does like standing moonsaults and stuff.
Is Hangman Page your favorite guy in New Japan? Every time we talk about him, you're like, this guy. I love this guy.
He just has a lot of ability and size, And to have size and that athletic ability, it's something. It's rare, Because I mean, when you have a low center of gravity, you're like, when you're small, it's easier to be athletic, That's why, I mean, the rise of all these shorter guys, coming from me, a tall guy who's not very athletic, it's just amazing to see someone that size do that type of stuff.
Yeah,
these maneuvers.
Speaking of small athletic guys, Rey Mysterio was on this card.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a good match. Liger was there. I'm surprised Liger caught the pin like that, but that guy's been going forever, man. He's crazy. I
thought that was a really cool team.
Yeah,
Rey, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Like that's an Avengers type thing, It's all these superheroes coming together on one night to make this super team. They wound up losing, though.
Yeah.
They lost to Cody, Hangman Page, and Marty Scurll, the Bullet Club.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, well, Cody's going, to face Omega next when they do their shows in San Francisco. So you want to keep Cody strong. You want to keep the whole Bullet Club crew strong.
Yeah. And I love seeing Tanahashi. He's one of my favorites. He's like an anime character straight out of the 80s, with his guitar solo heavy music and his outfits. Oh, he's fantastic.
How about Tanahashi against Jericho?
I can see that a lot more because he's really vibrant face and bright against this new, darker Jericho. I could see Jericho really going after him. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, if Jericho is going through the list of the top New Japan guys, Kenny Omega, Tetsuya Naito, I think Hiroshi Tanahashi should be on that list.
Yeah, he's their Japanese superhero right now. Who else is going to raise the Japanese flag besides him and the guy who beat Ospreay? I forget his name. Sorry.
Yeah, Hiromu Takahashi.
Yeah. So these two guys have the Japanese torch, if you will, to take away from Canada.
Yeah. Canada is running the New Japan heavyweight division. Jericho wins the Intercontinental title. Kenny Omega is now the heavyweight champion. And Michael Elgin from Ontario is the never openweight champion. It's pretty cool how Canada heavy New Japan is right now.
Yeah,
It shows you how good Canadians are at wrestling.
people talk about Canada and hockey or curling, but I tell you, wrestling has long been a place. Wrestling has long had a home here in Canada. With, whether it be from Calgary or Montreal, it is a long history of wrestling here, and obviously it shows by the amount of Canadians that are out there having success. I mean, for a bit, the top in WWE were Canadians as well, whether it be Rami or Kevin or Jericho or Piper,
Bret Hart, Roddy Piper. Isn't Piper from Winnipeg too?
He's just outside.
Counts.
Yeah, maybe might count.
I think he might have been billed from Winnipeg a few times.
Yeah, so there's just a long history here in Canada.
Jinder Mahal.
There you go.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode.
Yeah, and then if you go
and
back,
then the good guys like Kevin and Sammy.
Yeah, and then you can go through the history of it. There's tons.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Canada's awesome.
Canada's
Go Canada, go.
No D.H. Smith on this, or Harry Smith, Davey Boy Jr. He wasn't on the card.
No, he was on the card.
I could see those being really tough for the Bucks. Like the Bucks just won the heavyweight tag team titles, right? They were the junior heavyweight champions. Now they're going up to the heavyweight division. They've put on size, but Evil and Sonata are nowhere near the biggest guys that they're going to have to face in that tag division. Going up against Lance Archer and Harry Smith.
Yeah, big guys.
They're big guys. The Bucks are incredible. Like, don't get me wrong. I think they're the best tag team on earth right now. But they're going to be like really outsized. Is that believable to you? Like, do you have a problem with that?
Well, it isn't. It depends how they do it too. I mean, you can super kick someone any size. You could moonsault onto someone with any size. You can't flip them around and throw them around, but there's ways to do that. I have no problem with a smaller guy beating a bigger guy, but it has to be done properly. And I have faith in them.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm not no Jim Cornette.
Good.
There's room for old school, no doubt, but you have to evolve with the times and in knowing what's going on, and to thrill people.
Yeah, I don't know why the Young Bucks take so much heat with certain people in pro wrestling. I think that their matches are believable and excellent. Like, I don't see anything hokey or kind of fake looking about it. Everything they do comes off crisp and smooth. They're really, really good. Nick Jackson may be the best wrestler on the planet today. Like, we can't tell because he's in that tag team, and him and his brother Matt, they do a lot of stuff. But you see some of the stuff that Nick Jackson does, nobody's doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they're innovative in their spots. They people some might refer to them as the spot monkeys, but I mean, for me, I've always liked to see a nice high spot in the match, and I find they manage it very well. And like you said, all the other moves look really crisp. Psychology speaking, I find it makes sense for it can get a bit dancey, and by that I mean like a good ballet, but it's still a ballet, and in the end, that's kind of what wrestling is anyway. So,
But sometimes you see those matches, and it's like, I'm not really believing it. Like, guys that do that style, it does look like a dance, and it does look like they're kind of working with each other. But when the Bucks are doing it, especially in that match with Evil and Sonata, I didn't get that feeling.
Yeah,
it felt just
because they sell
authentic.
People, they say they do all these moves and they're spot monkeys, but which is true to some degree. But you can do all the moves you want if you're selling them, then that's good. They might not sell them long enough for Jim Cornette's liking, or they might sell them differently than Jim Cornette's liking. But as long as you sell it to some degree, it works. And their match wasn't nearly as high impact as like the Omega or the Jericho or the Ospreay match.
Yeah, and they've changed the wrestling world.
Yep.
You think about what they've done, what they've been able to do with All In, moving from the junior division to the heavyweight division, Kenny Omega, the rise of New Japan. A lot of that has to do with the Young Bucks and how big that they've pushed themselves and how over they've been. Like, their T-shirts, selling at Hot Topic, the Bullet Club stuff, that's all Young Bucks pushing and hustling and making it happen. It's it's pretty amazing to see how far they've come from just a tag team to now.
Yeah.
They're big money makers.
They're some of the top draws, big money makers. And I'm curious at how that all-in show. I mean, almost anybody could have a spot show,
Mm-hmm.
But to make it, for me to prove something has changed, although I know there has, but to prove for them something's changed, they got to do that all-in thing a few times.
Yeah.
A few times.
But once they do that, don't they just become a promotion?
Well, that's it. So
then they're their own promoters.
Yeah. Which
hasn't really been done.
No. That's why it's the possibilities. A lot of people would really like that, the wrestlers' rights are front and center, you'd think, anyway.
Yeah. Wrestlers running a show for themselves, for wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty cool. And I hope All In is a great success. I hope the show is good. It's got to deliver, and then we'll see if they keep doing it. I don't know if it's going to be available on TV or internet or something. It should be.
Yeah,
it's bound to be.
But by now, since it's sold out so fast, they're going to have like easily something on Twitch or Powerbomb TV or something like that, because it's too easy now to broadcast and pay. I mean, IWS has that here in Montreal, so there's definitely be something, IPTV of some sort.
Do you want to see CM Punk wrestle on the card? Do you want to see CM Punk come back to wrestling now? Did you see his fight?
Yeah, well, he can't be in UFC anymore.
No.
It's over.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised. I mean, I thought he'd do better. I guess.
I thought he did way better. He did way better than I expected him to do. I mean, he survived for 3 rounds.
That's it. He survived. I guess that's it. He survived.
That guy that fought him could have finished him many times, but he was playing around. I don't know what he was doing. Dana White was really pissed off at that guy.
I heard that. But that's for your other show, right?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he didn't do so good.
Yeah, I'm not. I never really cared for CM Punk personally, so whatever.
No,
I don't care.
Why not?
I don't know. He never really thrilled me.
You didn't think he was good?
No, I thought he was okay.
When he did that promo,
on Raw, when he sat down there.
Yeah,
sure.
That didn't get you going a little bit. That got everybody going,
right.
man.
It was cool. It was
pretty cool.
It was cool.
All right, let's run down the rest of this card here. So Omega beats Okada 2 out of 3 falls in over an hour. Jericho beats Naito to become the new Intercontinental Champion in New Japan, which is cool, too, because he holds the record of Intercontinental title reigns, I think, with 9 in the WWE. So here's his 10th in New Japan. He's the Intercontinental...
The most prestigious Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, he really is. More than Pat Patterson.
Yeah.
Who won it in a tournament in Rio de Janeiro. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It wasn't real. Didn't actually happen.
Oh.
They just made it up and gave him the belt.
Okay.
That's how the Intercontinental title was born. You know, they say Pat Patterson was the first Intercontinental Champion?
Yeah.
They just gave him the belt.
Yeah.
They said there was a tournament in Rio de Janeiro where he beat some guy, but it's not true.
Good piece of history.
There you go. History for you. Hiromu Takahashi beating Will Ospreay. I'd like to see Rey Mysterio stick around and maybe wrestle Hiromu down the road.
He might. I mean,
or Ospreay.
He's just there. I don't think it was a one-off. So.
No, he said he wanted to wrestle Liger. He said he wanted to do all these things. There was a tease of a match with Marty Scurll even, but it was weird to me that he just wrestled in the 6-man and didn't have a one-on-one match with somebody.
Yeah, well, that's Japan for you. So I think his next one will be one-on-one for sure.
I hope so. Who do you want to see him wrestle first?
I couldn't care less. I mean, I'd like all of them, honestly, because there's so many. And what I like about New Japan is that there's so many intriguing matchups. You just name them. Anybody he could have a great match with.
Yeah.
Really.
I want to see him against Skrull. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, sure.
I've seen him wrestle Ospreay before. They did it for something Rev Pro, maybe. Is that something?
Was it in a 3-way or something?
No, it was one-on-one.
Oh, yeah?
It's on YouTube. It was in England, I think.
Okay. I noticed on Will Ospreay's gear, he has a bunch of flags. He doesn't have a Canadian flag.
What a jerk.
What a jerk.
How come he doesn't have a Canadian flag?
Maybe I'm mistaken, but I looked his whole match this time, and he had every flag of all these countries, but
no Canada. Well, Omega and Jericho better talk to him.
Yeah, seriously.
Michael Elgin should talk to him too.
Yeah.
Elgin, a Canadian champion, he won the never open weight title in a 3-way. Suzuki-gun, Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Ishii and Toru Yano. Suzuki is kind of like he was at the top of the card, and here he's just like in a tag match with Zack Sabre Jr.
Well, he just scares people. I don't know.
He is pretty scary.
Yeah.
He's a scary man. Taguchi Japan, Juice Robinson and David Finlay beat Jay White and Yoshihashi, and Juice Robinson is going to challenge Jay White, who he pinned. He pinned the U.S. champion in this match, and Juice is going to be the next challenger for him. Juice has done well for himself. You know, he was in NXT for a little while.
Was he? Yeah?
He was C.J. Parker.
Okay, I knew that. Yeah.
I think he was Kevin Owens' first opponent in NXT.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, that's who I know that from.
And somebody wound up with a broken nose.
He did. Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Kevin broke his nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, first night. And now he's Juice Robinson in Japan. He's doing well, teaming with Fit Finley's son.
So when's the next?
Oh, that's
next
a solid.
event?
That's a solid question. I don't really know. It's like Lionsgate. There's some Lionsgate stuff going on. Kazuna Road is the next big one, but even that is not huge. I will tell you in a moment. There's a
put you on the spot here, Dave Simon.
Yeah, man, you're putting me on the spot, and I don't have all the information.
Just edit this out,
because I'm so well prepared for this show. I don't always know what's going on. Kazuna Road, never open weight title, and the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title will be defended. Hiromu will be defending against, I think, Bushi. And then Goto will be challenging...
Ibushi or Bushi?
Just Bushi.
Okay,
Bushi's the guy with the mask in Los Ingobernables.
Yeah.
Ibushi is Kota Ibushi. The G1 special. I think the G1 is coming up in...
A tournament, yeah.
Yeah. In July. But the G1 special, July 7th at the Cow Palace, it'll be Kenny Omega versus Cody for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. So that's the next big one, July 7th. So we'll do our next podcast to recap that show.
July 8th. Or maybe not.
July 8th-ish.
I'm not going to see you for a whole month, Dave Simon.
Well, you can see me before that if you want to.
You're always working. And you have and you have a kid.
Yeah, I'm very busy. Yeah, maybe you can't see me before that. I don't know. What are you doing for Money in the Bank?
I don't know. Go to your place?
You should replace Johnny North on the post show. People would like that. Okada and Ospreay are going to team up to take on Naito and Bushi.
Is that this Sunday?
No, it's next Sunday. It's Father's Day. Okay. So, you know what that means.
Yeah, the Sunday coming up.
I'm telling everybody that I want gifts for Father's Day. Like, even if I'm not your dad, I just want stuff from people.
I give you a gift every day I see you.
That's right.
I let you live.
The gift of Phantom. Hey, take it easy over there. I was doing jiu-jitsu this morning. I'm a dangerous man, Green Phantom. Something you don't know about me, Phantom.
I don't.
I choke people out. You should come do jiu-jitsu. You ever wrestled or do jiu-jitsu or anything?
I've done some wrestling, but...
Yeah? Did you like it?
I loved it.
It's great. I love wrestling. Not just pro wrestling, but real wrestling.
Yeah, real wrestling, yeah.
Okada and Ospreay against Naito and Bushi. Jay White, that's when he takes on Juice Robinson for the U.S. title. And the Young Bucks will be defending their tag team championship against Evil and Sonata in the rematch. That's all July 7th in San Francisco, California.
No Harry Smith in there, right?
No. I don't know where he's at.
Huh.
It's like he was tag team champion in New Japan, heavily featured on all the cards, and I haven't seen him in a couple months.
Yeah, he hasn't. He didn't impress for whoever people he didn't impress.
Guys seem to go in and out of New Japan. Like, I don't know if he had like a full-time deal with them. You know, I think they may have certain guys just for like they pay you on the show. Like it's a show-by-show contract type of deal.
He's one of those.
But certain guys are like full-time guys. Like the Bucks, I don't think they're not full-time New Japan. Like they're still independent, right? Because they wrestle in Ring of Honor and all these other spots. Cody is the same deal. I think Kenny is more full-time because you don't really see Kenny wrestle independents anymore, right? So I think he's got a full-time deal in New Japan, but it's like it's hard to tell who's like fully with them and who's kind of part-time. In WWE, there's no playing around. Like, it's quite obvious. Everybody on their roster is full-time WWE, right?
Contracts.
But in New Japan, it's like guys are coming in and out. There's Pro Wrestling Noah. There's All Japan Pro Wrestling. You want to start watching All Japan?
I don't have time. The last independent for one night only was probably Rey Mysterio for WrestleMania.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, just in for the night and then gone.
Was he at WrestleMania?
Yeah. Remember?
What did he do at Mania?
Oh, he did something.
I thought it was at the Rumble. Wasn't it just a
Maybe
Rumble?
Maybe it was the Rumble.
I think it was just a Rumble. I don't think he was at Mania.
No, you're right. I think it was Rumble. But still.
Yeah, but just like a one night only.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of talk that he was going to come back.
Yeah.
But then there was talk about New Japan. I think Ray kind of played them against each other and got the better deal.
Yeah, he does what he wants to do.
He's at that level, like Jericho, right?
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Future Hall of Famer. All right, big man.
It's been nice talking to you.
Plug your stuff. When's, things?
I make my return to the ring July 14th at IWS. The match featured then will be Pierre Carolette versus Walter from Austria, which has been taking the internet by storm.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of this guy. Who is this guy?
Well, PCO and him had this crazy match WrestleMania weekend, and it's been PCO's since then has become one of the most popular wrestlers on the internet.
So it's pronounced Walter?
Yeah. Like
it's not Walter.
It's Walter, but Walter, whatever.
Because I see him, he's just this big old, German type dude.
Exactly.
His name's Walter. I was like, who's this guy? How is this guy over? But people are like, oh man, you got to see Walter.
It's a real man meat slapping slobber knocker. You know, there's these big beefy dudes just barreling into each other.
He's just what type? He's like a strong style guy.
Yeah, you know, him against PCO again. Just these big beastly men.
How is PCO still wrestling? Like PCO,
he's in great shape.
I saw PCO wrestle.
Have you seen his promos online?
I was like
They're
7
crazy.
years old at the forum, and PCO was wrestling. How is he still wrestling?
Have you seen his promos lately? They're crazy.
No.
Man. He's like being electrocuted. He's like ripping phone books in half. He's like biting tennis balls in two. He's like doing crazy shit. It's he's really,
what's going on with him?
His internet presence right now is ridiculous.
Yeah, it seems to have happened in the past 4 months that PCO's become huge again.
Yep. So July 14th, Club Unity in Montreal. Come see it. Green Phantom's comeback match. As always, you can follow Green Phantom 514.
Who are you wrestling?
On Instagram or Facebook. Check out Green Phantom. Who am I wrestling? I don't know yet. The Green Phantom got attacked by Jeremy Prophet, the Black Russian Barnyard Barnoff.
Not Jeremy Prophet.
Yeah.
What's he's attacking you now? How dare he?
Black Dynamite and his buddy Isaiah Bronson put a beat down to the Green Phantom last IWS show.
You call it the Black Russian Barnoff?
Yeah. Black Dynamite. The Black Russian Barnyard Barnoff.
So you're going to wrestle the Barnyard Barnoff?
So there's something going on there. You'll have to talk to IWS management or the Green Phantom, and they'll fill you in on something. I don't know. But, yeah, so it's slated for some payback.
July 14th, you said?
Yeah.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Saturday, of course.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
A Saturday night?
Saturday night's all right, baby.
Oh, where is it?
Club Unity.
Where's that?
In the Village in Montreal.
The Village?
Right near Beaudry Metro.
Really?
Really, like a block away.
What time's the show?
It's like a few blocks from where you work.
What time is the show?
It's usually about 7:30.
Because I finish work at 6 on Saturday.
You have plenty of time to walk over and come to the show. Dave Simon, you're on the guest list +1. Who out there wants to be his +1?
Who wants to be my +1?
You'll have to get in contact with him and maybe...
Can I get front row, though? I don't want to sit like somewhere far. Like, I want good seats.
Gotcha.
Because last time I went to an indie show, I'm going to tell you a little story. I went to an indie show. I bought tickets off Johnny North. Johnny North said, you can buy tickets. I said, all right, fine. So I bought 2 tickets, okay? Cost me like $40 or something for 2 tickets.
Wow, he didn't really give you a deal, did he?
No, he didn't give me a deal, and they were for front row seats, okay? I get there, and all the front row seats marked reserved Drew Onyx. I was like, reserved Drew Onyx? Where's my front row seat? And there was like 4 seats for people that bought front row tickets. I don't know who. Like, there were people that bought front row seats, but I think had to sit in the second row.
Yeah.
But I got there on time, so I got a front row seat, but like in the corner. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed in my front row seats. There was a lot of seats that were reserved Not just for
Onyx.
Not just for Onyx. Well, it was Onyx's show, so like I understand. But it wasn't just for him. It was some other guy on the other side who had a bunch of seats reserved, and I didn't understand why.
All right. Well.
So this time I want a front row seat, okay?
Gotcha.
I don't fuck around. Like, I want a good seat. If I go to these shows, I want to be treated like a fucking serious gentleman.
If you get there, before doors open, I'll lead you in.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I can get in before doors open?
If you want, brother.
Fuck yeah. All right, I'll be there. All right, I'll be there. I mean, that's a reason to buy a ticket right there, right?
There you go.
Not just to see you, but to see me.
There you go.
I'm going to be there, goddammit. All right. This has been episode 3 of What's Phantom in Japan. We'll talk to you in a month.
Where we still haven't answered what is Phantom in Japan.
It doesn't matter.
We do it every week. See ya.
Every month.
Every month.